Oh, big one. Dude, that is a huge one. Huge, huge. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, dude, that's another big one. That's another big one. That's another big one. Oh my gosh. What happened to Virgil? Now I'm public with the soundscape. Guys, I'm very lucky to be out here on this pond today. We just had well, like nothing happened. That sounded very dramatic to start off, but nothing happened or anything like that. First of all, let's clear that up. But I'm super happy to be out here today because this pond is super old. So I've talked to a lot of people about this pond before coming out here, and the one thing that everybody says is it's super old and the fish in here are humongous, but they're hard to catch. So we just had a pretty big like rainstorm, you know, the little summer pop-up storm, but it was actually pretty intense today. So super happy to be able to make it out here and try to hopefully find a bigmouth bass for you guys this evening. I'm not sure what that is going to come off of, or what lure is going to catch a bigmouth bass, or how we're going to catch it, anything like that. But we got some fish up underneath the boat right here. But yeah, I'm honestly just super excited to be out here this evening because I've been wanting to film this video for a while, or film out here period for a while, but I just haven't had like a good enough day condition wise. If I know the bite's going to probably be tough going into it, because that's the one thing I've heard from everybody is the bite's tough, but the big ones are in here. I figured after a rainstorm, you know, this might be might help boost it a little bit. So we're out here trying it today. Not sure if it's going to work out for us at all, but can't hurt to try, right? You gotta try. You gotta try to know. And also we have some new stuff that we're gonna try today. Or nothing too crazy new, but like some lures that aren't out to the public yet. So all the same type of stuff. Nothing like, no new shapes of lures or anything, but stuff that I know I'm probably the only person out here that has. So we're gonna try some of this stuff out today and see if maybe we can find a couple. And guys, I see your comments like, throw top water around those grass edges. Like, yeah, I promise you I try it, but some of these ponds just aren't topwater ponds for whatever reason. I've had some days, good days on a buzzbait, pre-spawn, and probably a little bit into the spawn. But for whatever reason, it just seems like some of these fish are just like, oh, that's a buzzbait. Seen that one before, don't want that. That's a frog, seen that. That's a jaywalker, we've seen that. Kind of been having to resort to some other things like some of these ponds that I've been fishing here lately, with the exception of a few, what you think would work normally doesn't work. So like you kind of have to think outside of the box a little bit and try to figure out something. Because I will say some of these ponds are fished, I'm not gonna say heavily, but they're fished once a day by a different person every day. So once or twice a day. But yeah, today should be interesting because I have a lot of stuff that I want to try. I've actually fished this pond one time before. Me and Marshall came over here and fished, and we caught one apiece on the fritz side, and I think he caught his on a jerkbait, I want to say. But then again, that was like probably March. Definitely going to try a crankbait out today. This water, I can't really tell what type of water it is, or not what type of water it is, but the water clarity, because it seems like it changes from spot to spot. Some places it's kind of dirty, and others it's pretty clear. So alright, I think it's gonna be safe to say if we don't catch anything back here on this frog, then we can eliminate it. If we don't catch it, we're in 4 foot of water back here. I can see the bottom. If we don't catch a fish on this frog, we can probably go take this rod back to the truck. Oh, there was a bite. I saw he didn't get it. No. Oh, what happened to him? big one. Dude, that is a huge one. Huge, huge. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Dude, oh, he came off. No, 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 no. Dude, that was like a 7 or 8. Oh, dude, I saw those bubbles come up behind it. No, 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 no. No, no, that's like a bad dream. Oh my gosh, I saw these dang bubbles come up behind that fish. Oh, I could cry. I could honestly cry. Golly, dude. That thing just crushed this frog. Look, he ripped it in the back. Dude, that was a huge fish. I saw those bubbles come up. He barely came up and ate it too. Like he took his time and came up. Dude, that thing was huge. That was every bit of a 7 or an 8. That wasn't a small fish at all. Dude. What? The body's soft as could be on this frog. Oh my gosh. Well, that's 2 bites on the frog back here. I had to slow it down. I turned around. I saw this pocket back here. I was like, that looks good. Let's try it. Dude, that one was huge. And we're in 5 foot of water right now. If that. Let's see. Right here, we're in 5 foot. That fish back there was probably in 2 foot of water. And just working the frog slow, he came up and ate it. Oh my gosh, dude, that fish, that was the biggest fish I've ever caught out of here. Why me? Dude, that was huge. And then it was dark too. Like, that was a really pretty fish. Like, I saw him, he came up and ate it, and then I saw my frog wasn't there. So I set the hook, and I thought I got a good hook set in him, and he jumped, and that was pretty much the end of that. Oh my gosh, dude. I don't think, that wasn't like a 10-pounder or anything like that. I wish I could say it was, but definitely wasn't a 10-pounder. But that was that fish was at least a solid 7 or an 8 for sure. Dude, I just saw these bubbles back here just coming up, like, slowly. I was like, let's just hang out. Because normally when I see bubbles, my mind kind of goes straight for like either turtle or like carp or just something on the bottom, you know, kind of moving around. But I don't know what made me just kind of keep it where it was at. And I mean, it was just sitting there, and he came up and ate it. I got to go buy new batteries for my scale. Hopefully we can find another one back here somewhere. There has to be one back in there, right? I keep replaying that over and over in my head. I don't think I did anything wrong. I mean, it was just mid-fight, you know, and he popped off. It wasn't so much of like, I wasn't trying to force him in or anything. It was just kind of, he just ate it and still full of energy and jumped and was able to shake the hook out of his mouth. I'm just happy we got to see him. That's my #1 thing. I just like to see the fish at least to know how big it was, you know, because you set the hook on him, you kind of see him a little bit, but you never like fully know. You're like, man, he looked like a big one, but I don't know how big he actually was. Like, we got a good picture at that one. We got a good look at him. All right, we're gonna try to figure out a way to get like back in here in the back in here in the back. That was a nice combination of words right there. I don't know if this is the smartest way to go.
A few moments later.
All right, we're sending it right here. Full speed ahead. I feel a lot better about getting a snake bit if I know there's big bass in the area. So we're gonna take this rope right here. I wonder how hard is that? Oh, that's not hard at all. Dude, I just stepped on that and it went straight down. That's not even like real ground. Gosh, I have to get back here. I have to. Why don't I have a paddle? Try this little worm. Oh, there has to be a fish back here. You can't tell me there's not one back here. I'm not believing that. That's another big one. That's another big one. That's another big one. Oh my gosh. What happened to Virgil? Oh yeah. Yes, baby. That is a, oh, don't go in there. Dude, he choked that. He choked it. He choked it. He's not going nowhere. Dude, you choked that frog. Come here. You don't want me to touch you? Well, I'm about to grab you. Dude, look at that. That's a 4, 5 maybe. He could go 5. Dude, look how he ate it. Look how he ate that. Gosh, dog it. That'll get you fired up any day of the week. I don't know about y'all, but I'm having the time of my life. The bite has been absolutely horrible this week, but I guess this is like the Lord rewarded me for all of my hard work. Because I mean, I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning and fished till 9, 10 o'clock, and then came back out every single day this week, just trying to get one video done. You know he's big when you grab your phone for social media first. Yeah. Whew. Look at that one. Not as big as that first one, but yeah. Gotta love it. Look at that. Not as big as that first one, but you gotta love it. All right, let's get her back. She's been out for a little minute. We took a little TikTok break with her. Gotta let those folks know on TikTok I still do this. Yeah. So my only reason for switching banks was because I was like, I fished that one a little bit coming in. I didn't catch anything. And since it's starting to get dark, I was like, I need to try somewhere else. I just cast it down this bank. That's not even where I wanted to cast it. I was like, dang, I cast it out too far. But hey. Whew. That's an adrenaline rush. That's the definition of bass fishing, or the definition of adrenaline sometimes is bass fishing. Like literal definition for adrenaline is bass fishing word for word. Because I mean, catching a 3+ pounder on a topwater frog and it blowing up like that, bass fishing would solve so many world problems. You think people would fight if everybody bass fished and there was enough ponds for everybody? Everybody would fight if there wasn't enough ponds. But like if there was enough ponds for everybody to go out to a pond and catch a huge fish, there would be no problems in the world. If you caught a big fish like that once a week on a topwater frog, that same blow up and everything, you cannot tell me that there would be wars. There would have never been a war if everybody in history would have bass fished. Dude, my hand is cramping from holding that fish. That was a big boy. I'm not gonna say he was quite 5, but he was a 4 for sure. So we got a 4, we got a 7, 8. I mean, that fish probably was 8 something for sure. What's up, guys? So part 2, I'll explain to y'all where we're at and why we are here in a second. All right, we're gonna use this little fritz side today. I was laying in the bed last night and I was thinking, I was like, all right, so the beginning of this video we caught, I don't know, I was watching that back and I was like, I don't know, that fish is probably bigger than 5. I think that might have been like a 6 or a 7 pounder that we had come off in the last video. So I was sitting, I was watching that back, you know, I was just reminiscing what could have been, and I was like, man, I really want to go somewhere where I know I have the potential to catch a big one, because we've been on kind of like a big one streak so far in this video. We have 2 and they've both been over 3, and I'd say that's 2 big fish, you know. So I was like, where can we go that we can catch another big fish? Not guaranteed, but like there's a good chance. So I was thinking about every pond except for this one, and I was like, all right, there was that one day I was out here and I saw that big one like right over here on this bank. I think the bigger fish are probably going to be in a little bit deeper water now that it's kind of officially hot. We're out here, it's like 11, 12 o'clock, and there's a reason for that. So sometimes, all right, so the reason for it is today's going to be pretty much a straight up luck day if we catch a big one, but I have kind of found out that fishing during the middle of the day sometimes kind of, I don't know, I can't give you a reasoning for it, but sometimes it seems like the big ones will bite during the middle of the day, which I say your high probability chances are catching them early in the morning, later in the evening, But I don't know, I just had a feeling that we should come out here today and we should try a 11, 12 o'clock bite out here at this pond. It might be probably the worst idea I've ever had, because it's not super hot yet. It's gonna get hot again this week, but I don't know, it's kind of cool. We have a little bit of a breeze today, so I was like, why not just come out here and try it? You know, it's not gonna hurt anything just to come try. So right here today, we're gonna try to find a big fish on this crankbait middle of the day today. I know it sounds crazy, but it only sounds crazy until you catch a 7-pounder at 12 o'clock on a Monday.
20 minutes later.
There we go. There's fish number one. Oh, he came off. No, he's right there. Oh, there he goes. He's swimming back out. All right, so what we got here is this bank right here is pretty much just sand, and then it drops off probably, if I had to guess, probably to 5-6 feet. I wasn't expecting to hook up right here, honestly. I really should have had my chacos on today, so I could have like went out and stood out there to get a little bit deeper, because I think most of the fish are probably, it's so hard to point. It's so hard to like tell y'all distance on the camera because nothing looks the same on the camera. But if you can see kind of where the brown part stops right there, I need to be like 20 yards. I need to be casting out that way. Like I need to be up a little bit farther than I am to get in that little bit deeper water, because I can't really reach it with this little crankbait. There we go. Oh, no, it came off too. Dang it. I was just about to say this bank looks a lot better because it's a quicker drop off. I'm gonna say it looks a lot more fishy, but it looks more fishy because it's a quicker drop off, and also I can cast beyond the drop off into some deeper water. Right, it's almost getting to that point where like if you want to come out during the day, you almost have to be on like a boat or something like that just to get a little bit deeper to find those bigger fish. You don't have to be on one, but like since I have access to one, it'd make a lot more sense for me to be on a boat or a kayak, so I can kind of fish the opposite way. I could be out in the middle and casting towards the bank to hit that little transition spot where the water gets deeper. But so far we've hooked up on two small ones that we really can't count, because you really have to catch like 10 small ones for it to count to one fish. I'm throwing the smaller size crankbait today because it's not super windy. Whenever it's kind of like calm conditions, it's not super calm, but it's not super crazy windy yet. I know I'll say that, and then the rest of the video you won't even be able to hear it, because it'll just be like. But on days like today, I'd like to kind of downsize my lures when the conditions aren't too crazy, just because when you throw a bigger bait, if it's not windy or murky water or whatever, the fish can get a good look at it, and it's like, oh, that's not something I want to eat.
1 pair of pants later.
All right, guys, we just gave it a really good effort. If you can't tell, I'm like drenched in sweat, but we just basically pretty much made 2 laps around the pond by the time I'd like walk back and then walk forward and then walk back again and walk forward. We made a full lap around. I had probably 2 or 3 places where I might have saw 2 or 3 bluegill. I really didn't see anywhere that like really would have keyed in for me, like, hey, you need to stay here and fish here for a few minutes. But we made a full lap around. We didn't see any fish, really. We didn't catch anything. So I guess my theory or my feeling wasn't a good feeling I had this morning. Last night I came up with the idea. I was like, I need to come out here. I'll get out there about 11, and I bet you I'll catch a big one. I mean, I tried the dock. I tried this whole bank over here. We haven't fished on this side. The side that we went to first this morning, we hadn't fished over there, and I don't know how long. We probably haven't fished over there at all this year. So that's pretty much it. We did hook up on 2. We didn't land them, but I mean, they're the standard that we catch out of here, like this big, maybe a quarter of a pound. I mean, sometimes you have those feelings and it works out. Other times you have them and it's just the worst idea you probably could ever had. And today I did a lot more sweating than I did catching. So that pond that we were at, we fished at one time. I think we've actually been out there 3 times with the part in the beginning of this video. The first time I was out there, I got skunked. I didn't catch a single fish. Second time I went out with Marshall, we caught 1 apiece pretty much in the same area, but I mean, they were both super small. But I went out there in the beginning of this video, like you saw, and I caught 2 really big ones on a frog in the back of that pond. So what I'm thinking is it might not be the very next video uploaded, but I really want to wait for another stormy day. If I could, honestly, if I could fish during a storm like thunder, lightning, rain, if I could go put my kayak in that back part of the pond, I just know it'd be crazy. but I don't know when we're gonna go back out there because I want to kind of wait for similar conditions, because the fishing, it's not a lot. The fishing is really tough out there. So I think that was a good warm up, but I mean a good summer rainstorm, thunderstorm, and then if we can get, if the rainstorm could happen between like 4 to 5:30ish and cut off all the way at 5:30, and it's still kind of overcast, and we got from 5:30 to 8, 9ish to fish, I think that we could probably go hook up on a double digit, honestly. Because I know that back corner back there probably never gets fished, and I've been replaying that fish coming off in my head every day since then. It's 3-4 days later. So if you don't see this pond for a while, it's not because I'm like trying to hold off on it. I just want to wait for similar conditions, because I'm sure there's certain days, you know, the pressure's low and all that and you can go catch a big one, but I really want to wait for another like stormy day, the pressure's low, and I know the fish are going to be eating. So I think we're going to try to save that pond for another day like that. Fishing, summertime fishing. It can be the greatest of times, or it can be the absolute worst of times. We had both spectrums today. We had an hour and a half, 2 hours of sweating our absolute balls off out here. I just had to say that because I had to exaggerate of how hot it is. But we're gonna figure it out, guys. I appreciate you clicking on the video, guys. Thank you for all the support on the channel. Don't forget to fish them hard and have a great day.
Chasing a bag, I'm racing the clock. Look at them flock, watching them flop. Used to see this in my sleep. When I ain't had shit on my thoughts in the car, I really was lost. Now I'm public with the soundscapes.
I said at that time, Quan, I hope you're happy. I said fish them hard and have a good day. See y'all.